Well, I know. So, right about now, if you haven't heard, or maybe you have, people are disappointed in Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Soldier Boy, and Nelly for performing at the inauguration. Now, at this moment, to see Snoop Dogg perform and to see Rick Ross perform and to see Soldier Boy perform doesn't disappoint me at all. I'm going to tell you why. See, for me, I didn't grow up necessarily looking at rappers as heroes or role models. I grew up in the hip hop culture. I'm only going to speak for myself and my folks and who I was around in Detroit. We was listening to music all day long. I'm reading the Source magazine, straight up geek, hence how I ended up becoming a journalist and a writer in the culture. But I got to tell you, if you came around us around that time and you thought that everything that a rapper said 100% true, or you were looking at them as heroes, we in my section was looking at you funny. We was looking at you like there was something going on with you. Like you was a tad bit slow and you ain't understand. I'm one of those people, I don't believe that just because you're a celebrity, you're a role model. There's been people who disagree with me at that point, but I don't believe that. And it's for these reasons I don't. I feel like fame here in America is thrusted upon individuals. It does not mean that they're going to be your moral compass to be looking at. Now, however, if you are somebody that has modeled yourself and you have said on public record, like off mic or off the court when you're playing basketball or not when you're in the film, and you said, I want to be a role model, then I held you accountable for that. But just walking around and us as people made you popular and I'm supposed to look at you like some sort of moral model? No, I never did that. And I don't think no one else should do that. However, this situation is a little bit different because people are disappointed in certain individuals. I don't know how you can be disappointed in Rick Ross because his whole messaging has been about money and give him the check and he gonna do. And his first song was Every Day I'm Hustling. Every song that Rick Ross has always put out has always been about getting money. When Rick Ross is on IG, which is hilarious, he always ends it or begins it about getting money. Rick Ross has always told you that he is always about getting money. He's not someone who's out here going to wave his fists or stand on something. If it don't have nothing to do with the check. That's always been the messaging I've gotten from Rick Ross. Soldier Boy has always been all over the place. I was just more shocked to see Soldier Boy there and coherent. I wasn't necessarily disappointed in Soldier Boy. I was just like, oh, that's pretty brave because I didn't know if Soldier Boy was going to go on a 10-minute rant. I've cared more about Soldier Boy's rants than I've cared about his music. But shout out to him. He was out there also too. The Snoop Dogg gets a little tricky because there's video of Snoop Dogg actually criticizing people. And I don't know where this video was coming from, but calling people coons for wanting to show up for the inauguration of Donald Trump in the past. Now, my thing is Snoop Dogg has always been this commercialized artist. Snoop Dogg is the most popular rapper in the entire world, hands down. Snoop Dogg was in Paris during the Olympics, having a good old time. But Snoop Dogg in the past 10 to 15 years has always displayed whether he sold me something during a commercial on TV, whether I'm in a grocery store and I see his brand, his face there, there's nowhere I can't go where Snoop Dogg isn't selling me something other than music. I haven't really checked for Snoop Dogg actual music in a very long time, but I'm always seeing Snoop Dogg everywhere selling me something. So for Snoop Dogg to show up at the inauguration and then to be throwing up deuces with people who are affiliated with Trump doesn't shock me at all. It's not even disappointing to me. Now, what is disappointing is the contradiction, and when people get caught out for their contradiction, and then they have the nerve or the audacity to get like upset that you're calling them out for it. Now, the Nelly thing, I also didn't have no opinion on it because as long as I can remember, I don't know what Nelly's affiliation is or his political stance is or wherever he stood. Now, Nelly was on Willie D's podcast saying that, hey, I don't know. I didn't know that you would ride with me because of this or you was riding me for that. And it sounded like he was speaking about talking points because he was saying the typical stuff about Joe Biden that people have mentioned before in the past about the crime bill and the crack bill and things like that, but also being avoidant of everything that Donald Trump has actually did when it comes to racism and where he stands. Here's the thing when it comes to these rappers and their appreciation of Trump and what we're seeing in this new era in this inauguration. We're seeing rappers who are actually feeling as if you can't tell me what to do and I just want to stand by power, because what Trump represents is a lot of power. He represents a lot of misogyny, and there's something about the black male rapper or black males or anyone who loves it, or the white male, any of that, they identify with that, they love that, they want to stand next to that, okay? Even certain women want to stand next to that, okay? But the rappers in particular that are lining themselves up, they have this feeling or this resistance because they're getting you know what someone told me, it's just come to me just now. They're getting contrarianism confused with intellectualism. All right. They think that them resisting somehow they are the smart one. And that's an American thing. And the fact that once you make money here in America, it's almost like, yo, you can't tell me nothing else. I make money, you broke, so you can't talk to me. I made money, I'm famous. Won't you concentrate on you? That's the where they're hitting at. Once you concentrate on you, I'm getting money, you know? So them somehow getting money or reaching these platforms and becoming famous, they somehow are above you in that sense. And they somehow know more than you. Instead of them just actually saying what it is, they don't mention any policies. They don't talk about anything specific that they actually want to ride with. They just like how somebody roll with and everything. And they think it's funny and everything is a game because it doesn't affect them in their own private world. Someone like Snoop Dogg, who's been in the industry now for 30 plus years, we've always known who he is. He's going to have this attitude or this feeling about that you can't tell him he gonna do what he want to do and this and this and this and get off his nuts and all the other stuff that he puts up on his IG. If you go to it right now, his feelings on how you feel about him, Nelly and their feelings on how you feel about him, Soulja Boy and how they feel and how you feel about him, and all the other rappers that have supported Trump along the way during the campaign, okay, and how they feel about this guy, Donald Trump, who does not care about them because they don't have an understanding that you are being picked out because you are entertaining to him or anyone that is Trump-like. You are someone that is entertaining to them. You're not someone that's going to push them. You're someone that is entertaining to them. So yeah, they don't mind you. So yeah, that's cool. They're out there. But for me, the greatest lesson for that is to look as we move on in this 2025 era and we see that Trump is taking office and we see more and more people are walking around loud and proud of how they feel. Instead of being disappointed in some of your so-called rappers and how they feel and, you know, calling them sellouts, I think that we should just get used to the idea that some of these people are going to be sellouts and we just keep it moving. To a friend who said this to me a long time ago, once you reveal who you are, yo, just keep it moving. I don't even want to do a whole think piece or an argument, or I'm even resistant to even doing a video like this. But I feel like my message to get across is for us as we move forward to really not even give it that much energy in the sense of like, oh, that's where you stand? Okay, stand over there. And then when something happens to you, you cry about it. That's what it is. It's something that we should take as an opportunity when someone is letting us know where they stand and who they are. And this time around with the Trump era, people are becoming more bold about letting you know that they're staying with him. So if they look like us, they look like me, and they want to stand over there, then you stand over there. That's fine. I personally don't have any kind of time or I feel any kind of need to want to sit there and go back and forth with you, feel my, throw away the old albums or any of that. No, because if you pay attention to who is supporting, they've always been who they are, period. Nelly would have did better if he just would have been quiet, just performed and went back home to Ashanti. He would have been better with that. But his statement of him stating why he's doing this and why he doesn't, I wasn't campaigning for him, but I'm here right now. She lost. And this whole intention that y'all have with mispronouncing, VP Kamala Harris' name, this intention that y'all have of mispronouncing her name when y'all be saying these things and you want to bring up all of this stuff or whatever because you now want to come outside when it comes to perform, just say you getting the check. I'm getting the check. I feel good about this check. Hey, man, this is what I need. And here's the thing. It don't have to be because you were broke, because people who get money like getting money. So we also got to eliminate this idea of like, oh, they must be down bad. They must need the money. No. You name me one person who is getting money that is tired of getting money, right? And despite how you may feel or how I might feel and certain things I won't do for money, that's not everyone's mindset. The quicker we understand who these people are, the quicker we can keep it moving and deal with the people that we know that are down for it. We're about to get ready for a really bumpy ride. Okay, we're about to get ready for a really bumpy ride. I'm a believer that if we stand on the things that we believe in and we unite those of us voices that feel and have that common voice, I feel like we'll make it through. But these distractions, these kind of imitations or these so-called rappers who are going out their way to tell you what they about to stand for and this and this and this, and they just want to show you in their actions, let them. It's up to you if you want to continue to support them and buy their brands and their music and not. And the rappers I just named, I don't know what they got coming up next. I mean, Snoop has an album out right now with Dre, but let them. If they want to go and stand on that type of side of history, let them. Take your disappointment elsewhere, because trust me, what I've learned in life is that life is going to be full of disappointment. I am not about to waste my disappointment credit card on the likes of them. I'm Gucci, straight up. And my advice is that you should be too. So gear up for 2020-25. Let's do what we got to do, because when it comes to individuals like this, we should be raising them up to these platforms anyway. One thing that we have to learn is that when it comes to these celebs, they are not our gods. We need to stop doing this hero worshiping of them, and we need to stop putting them and leveling them on these platforms and looking at them like they're supposed to be guiding us to the promised land. And that is not the truth at all. If you are down and you do want to use your voice for power and all of that, then hold them accountable. But once you are disappointed, or once they let you know who they are, keep it moving.